Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Brian Denuzzo. I manage the tutoring center on the Celina campus of Collin College. Today we're going to talk about the research essay in relation to the symposium. So we're going to talk about the parts of an essay, including documentation. We're doing research, so we need to document that. And we're also going to talk about what we do after we have a draft, revise, edit, and proofread. So let's talk about the introduction paragraph. In the introduction paragraph, we want to gain the audience's attention, get them interested in our topic, get them to start reading. Sometimes we provide background information for our reader, and we definitely want to have our thesis statement somewhere in the introduction, usually toward the bottom. So how do we gain the audience's attention? There are different ways to do this. You might use an interesting quotation or an interesting question. You might use a startling fact or statistic to get your audience's attention. It's a good idea to use this to get your reader to start reading. As I mentioned, we need to include a thesis in our introduction. The thesis is the heart of your paper. It's the reason you're writing your paper. If we're doing an argumentative research paper, then we're taking a stand on an issue and we're supporting that position. After we've written the introduction, then we can talk about the body paragraphs. This is where we want to support our thesis. We provide reasons in our body paragraphs and evidence. We provide source information. We also might mention opposing views in our body paragraphs. We might show data or statistics as well in our body paragraphs. When we're putting in source information like data and statistics or quotations from some of our sources, it's a good idea to incorporate them in a way that is readable for your audience. And one way is to use a quote sandwich. This is where we introduce our source using a signal phrase. Tell us who your source is, maybe tell us why your source is an expert. Then you want to provide the source information, whether it's a quote or a summary or a paraphrase. And then you want to explain that. Don't assume readers are going to understand the quote or the paraphrase. Give them explanation about how it fits into your argument or your position. Here's an example of that. We have our source there. We get the name of the source's expertise. We get a quotation. At the end of the quotation, we have an in-text citation. We need to do that. And then in blue here, we get explanation about that source information. This is good scholarship. We need to do this. As good as it is, we want to be careful about overdoing it, using too many sources, too many quotes back to back. Remember, audiences are reading your paper. They want to hear from you. Don't let your voice get lost by having too many sources. And here's an example of that in green. This is too much source information and our writer's voice gets lost. So use your sources sparingly. After the body paragraphs, then we have the conclusion. This is where we're wrapping up our paper. This is our last chance to speak to our audience. We want to summarize the main points of our paper. We want to restate or rephrase our thesis. And maybe we want to ask our audience to do something, like a call to action, or have them think about our topic after they're done reading. So those are the parts of the essay. Let's move to documentation. Because we're doing research, we have to document it. This is good scholarship. There are different styles of documentation. We're going to talk briefly about MLA. MLA is a two-part system. We have to do in-text citations and works cited entries. We have to do both. Here's an example of that. We have our signal phrase here mentioning our source. Then we have the quotation, and then we have the in-text citation at the end. This lets our readers know that you're using source information. And then, if we want to learn more about that source, we can go to the Works Cited page. Here's that entry there. We learn more about the source. that it's an article, it's from a newspaper, it's from an online newspaper. We even see the year that it was published, and maybe this matters in our research. After we've documented everything and we have our draft of an essay, then we want to move to revising, editing, and proofreading. It's a good idea to work from the bigger concerns to the smaller concerns. Start with, do I have a thesis? Have I supported that thesis? Are my paragraphs organized? This is revision. Then we move to sentence level concerns. Maybe we've mistyped something, misspelled something, some of our grammar is a little bit off. Revise those next. Once we have that, then we read our paper aloud. It's a good idea to read to someone else, have someone else read to you, come to the tutoring center. You can work with a tutor at this stage of the writing process, and the tutor can provide feedback for you on your paper. In terms of the symposium, we begin with the library research. The librarians are there to help us find the research, use the library's database. The Career Center is there to help us when we're presenting our posters, considering the dress that we wear, considering our public speaking skills. And the Tutoring Center is there for the writing, revising, documenting, designing your poster, creating your poster. We're here for you to help in that respect. We are located in the library on the ground floor, room 002. Come check us out.